Hi, I'm Chris Ellen, professional essentialist, a touch and intimacy coach. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about open relationships and polyamory. Polyamory is described and defined as many loves. You're able to love and create relationships outside of a monogamous connection. So today I feel really flayed open. I feel really tender and vulnerable because I have been called to look at some of the parts of myself which have been interacting unconsciously in relationships. I have found some fears and jealousy and possessiveness that I didn't acknowledge in relationships in the past, and which have created and defined parts of my life. And now, as a ever-growing conscious being, I have stepped into additional relationships with the understanding that I would be honest and share my emotions. And intimacy is really opening up oneself with others and trusting and honoring that authentic connection. And for me, I have found a recent connection, a recent relationship that I have been challenged by in the past couple of days. There's a big event coming up, and I had some past wounding with a best friend who I projected out onto my current lover, and I have some feelings come up, and I stepped up and I was like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and I'm requesting a boundary. I'm requesting a limitation. And for me, I have not consciously requested limitations in the past, so I feel really weird about creating that conversation with my new lover, because we're still in that exploration phase. We're still in that everything is beautiful and amazing. There's lots of pleasure in getting to know each other, and I feel vulnerable. I feel vulnerable in asking other people and sharing an experience with them. And in this case, I am 800 miles away from the experience that my brain has some connection to. So I do the best I can, and I open up my heart and my emotions, and I share them authentically without blaming, without making anyone wrong. And I just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm feeling. Can you dig it? And people who say, yes, that's what you're feeling. That's what is alive for you and is up for you, then that's fine. And then there'll be people who will be like, you know what, it's not a good fit for me, it doesn't work, thank you, but no thanks. And that's okay too, because for me, I really desire to connect with people fully and authentically and honestly. And for people who aren't available to that connection, then they're empowered to create their own boundaries and their own choice. So this is me. I feel like I've had an autopsy and all my insides have been laid out on the table of authenticity, and people can see those parts of myself which I hadn't spoken about in previous relationships. And I acknowledge that this too is sacred. This too is part of relationship, and this is my current growth edge. So there it is. I am feeling tender. And I welcome you to your own authentic feeling place. No matter what you're feeling, there is always the way through it is one step at a time, and honoring your feelings, because they're guides that tell us about parts of ourselves. My feelings are just telling me a story about some part of myself that has wisdom for me. And by moving into the pain and through it, I get to see the jewel of myself. So may you have sweet and passionate journeys where you're fully authentic in your feelings and have a place within yourself, which you know you're loved and cared for, because we all deserve that. We all know inside of ourselves who we are. Just remembering that sometimes can be a challenge. So with those words of wisdom today, this is Chris Ellen, professional sensualist, a touch and intimacy coach. My website is www.professionalsensualist.com. Wishing you sweet dreams and merry life. I will talk to you again soon. Blessings. I love you.